All right, what's up, guys? Full card picks. We're gonna start with the main event: Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan. Number two, I think Merab is gonna destroy Peter Yan in a very dominant decision, much like the first fight. I think that he is too strong. Number one, that's a big thing. People don't, really talk about Merab. It's always about the cardio. This motherfucker's strong, dude. When he gets his hands locked around you in a body lock, he's too strong. I think he's going to be able to get control time against Peter Yan against the fence, and I think he's going to outstrike Peter Yan. His striking has gotten even better since their first fight, where he already outstruck Peter Yan. I think he is going to chew up Yan's calf with calf kicks. He throws in combinations that gets Peter Yan to cover up with his high guard, leaves him exposed for takedowns. I think Merab is just too good. He's a nightmare matchup for Peter Yan. Okay, Peter Yan is a championship level fighter, but Merab is just different. He has the cardio to shoot 50 takedowns and throw 400 strikes. Nobody else can do it, only him. I think he's just going to do a very similar thing. I think he might even get a submission. It's very possible. He found himself in that front headlock position a lot against Peter Yan in the first fight. I think he's really improved on his ability to get submissions from there and threaten submissions. So that's possible, but I really think it's just going to be the same thing where he's just going to outstrike Yan. I think if anything, there's going to be more striking and less takedowns. I think Yan is going to stuff most of the takedowns, but he's just going to get beat up on the feet. And Merab, when he does take him down, will not be able to hold him there, but Yan's going to spend the energy getting up and he's going to get tired. I think it's just a terrible matchup for Peter Yan, and I don't think he has the footwork to beat Merab. I think that's a big thing. He's just going to be standing in front of Merab. He doesn't move a lot. He has very good kicks, right? I think he could use his teep kicks and his calf kicks very well. I think in the clinch, he could do some real damage with elbows and knees. I think that's something he should look for because he's going to end up in the clinch a lot anyway. Um, like I said, he's going to stuff almost all the takedowns, but it's just not going to be enough, right? I think he is really good at, stopping takedowns with uppercuts. That's something Yan is really good at. He could look for that here, but it's just not going to happen, dude. It's not going to happen. I'm picking Merab. He's going to win. He's going to win, dude. I can't pick Yan. It's just not going to happen. Next fight, co-main event. Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van. I'm picking Pantoja by decision. I think it's going to be very close, but I think the story of this fight is going to be Pantoja is going to be too strong early on in the fight, and I think he's going to bank the early rounds with control time and mixing it up on the feet with the calf kicks, and I don't think he's going to get knocked out early on. I don't think Van has that type of power. I think if he gets a finish, it's going to be him building into the fight, starting to get momentum as it goes on. I think the later rounds is where he's going to have his success. Van, in my opinion, is a 5-round fighter. I think we're going to see that here. He's got really good cardio. I think his counters are going to be a big problem for Pantoja, who does blitz forward a lot. But Pantoja's defense has been cleaning up. His striking is getting better, and I think his low kicks are going to be problems for Van. Van was getting his leg buckled by Bruno Silva. I think the calf kicks, more importantly, are going to be really big for Pantoja. He's really been getting good at throwing those kicks. His striking overall has been improving, and he's just been improving across the board. Like, you go back and you watch the Moreno fight, where he won the belt, he's light years away from that. He's so much better. And I think Van is going to be improving fight to fight as well, but I think it's just a little bit too much too early on in his career. I mean, he's 24, and I think Pantoja is going to really be able to outmuscle him early on. I think that's a big thing between these guys. Pantoja is a lot bigger. I think he's going to be a lot stronger, and Van's takedown defense has been tested. I think he will be able to stuff takedowns, but what hasn't been tested is his grappling. When somebody gets on his back, when somebody can take him down, what is he going to do to get back up and defend the submissions? So that's what I think about Pantoja versus Van. I think Van has all the tools that he needs to win, but I think it's just going to be a little bit too much. I think this is by far his toughest opponent, and I think he will be a champion one day. I just don't think Saturday will be that day. Feature fight. Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. This is a really good fight. I'm a big fan of this. I'm picking Taira by decision. I think, let me see, who are people picking? Yeah, Taylor's the favorite, but he's not really. Like, the community is picking Moreno. I'm picking Taylor. I think Moreno hasn't been looking as good recently. he did beat the crap out of Amir Albazi, but Amir Albazi and Tatsuro Taira, two completely different levels of fighter. Amir Albazi is a fraud. He's not good, right? He only got ranked in the top 5 because he won a terrible decision against Kai Kara France. He's not good. Moreno's fight with Steve Erceg was okay. He did clearly beat Steve Erceg. He was outstriking him, outboxing him, which is impressive to do. Erceg's a very good boxer, but I think Tatsuro Taira is so young. He's 25 years old. He is going to be improving. That's the biggest thing in this fight. I think Moreno has peaked already. I think the Pantoja fight really took a lot out of him. He's had so many wars. I think he's the best that he'll ever be. And I think, if anything, he's not going to be at his absolute best right now. And I think Taira is going to be much better than we've ever seen him. And I like his patience. He's very patient. He's very selective with his punches. He knows he's not going to be some kind of, combination fighter like Joshua Van, who's going to get in your face and throw these elite boxing combos. So he peppers you with his jab. He's got a nice jab. He's got a really good straight right hand. I could see him clipping Moreno with that straight right hand. I think Moreno is going to be looking to counter the jab with his right hands. He's got a good switch kick. I think he's going to be looking to target Taira's calf as well. And, obviously, I think Moreno can outbox him, but I think Taira is going to be patient enough on the feet to where he can time his shots, land some good shots, land some calf kicks, and then time his takedowns very well. And then I think he will just win rounds by getting on Moreno's back, and Moreno won't be able to get him off. Taira is one of the best grapplers in the division. I think second only to Pantoja, and I think, they, are not that far apart. And Taira's so fucking young. Like, he's 25. Think about how much he's going to be improving fight to fight. I just think this is Taira's fight to win, and I think he's going to get it done. I think he'll be patient on the feet. He'll be peppering Moreno with the jabs, the right hands, the calf kicks. I think he'll be staying defensively sound, and I think he will eventually look to get in close, either get in the clinch or get some takedowns, and I think he'll be able to do it, and I think he'll win the fight with control time. So I don't think it'll be a very exciting fight, but I do think Taira's going to win. Fourth fight on the card. Now, when this fight got announced, up until today, when I started watching tape on it, I was saying, oh, Henry's going to destroy him. He might even finish him. And I kind of want to pick Talbot now that I've watched them fight, but I can't do it. I can't pick Talbot. I can't get that Howdy Barcelos fight out of my head. I'm acknowledging that he's gotten much, much better from that fight. But Henry Cejudo hasn't been showing his dominant wrestling that he has, but look at who he's been fighting. Aljamain Sterling. You're not going to out-wrestle Aljamain Sterling. Merab. You're not going to out-wrestle him. It won't happen. He couldn't take down Song Yadong. Song Yadong is one of the best fighters in the division. He's one of the best fighters in the world. He's a tiny step below somebody like Peter Yan and Corey Sandhagen, and we saw that when he fought them both. He did very well. And he's also a very young contender. Song Yadong is really fucking good, and the fact that Henry Cejudo couldn't take him down doesn't really mean much to me when we look at this Peyton Talbot matchup. And Henry was having moments where he was outstriking Song Yadong. Henry is really fucking fast. He's in that karate stance. He's super fast. He loves that right hand. And I think what he's going to do in this fight, Peyton Talbot stands very tall. It's going to be tough for Henry to close distance, right? But I think he will mix. I think if he doesn't do this, I don't know. He's going to have to mix his strikes and his takedowns together, which is something I haven't seen him do in a long time, just being honest. But it's such an obvious game plan that somebody like him should be able to do. And I think his problem has been he's just been wrestling and striking. He doesn't mix it together. He doesn't set up his takedowns very well. I think he will be able to do that versus Talbot, and I actually think he can win some of the striking exchanges in this fight. I think he is a lot faster than Talbot. Talbot stands very tall. He doesn't move his head a lot. He's hittable. He has a lot of power, and I think in this fight he's going to be looking to pepper with the jab and the low kick. That's definitely going to be his main weapons in this fight because he's so big. He's going to have a huge reach advantage against Henry. He's going to have a huge size advantage. So I think the calf kicks will be very effective against that karate stance, and I think he's going to be looking to land that jab, find his range, and land the counter right hands. And I could really see him knocking Henry out with a counter left hook, kind of like Cameron Simon as he comes in. Like, I'm not saying Henry Cejudo is Cameron Simon. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that the opening is there. When he blitzes in with that right hand, I really could see Talbot just getting out of the way of it and cracking him with that counter left hook. But I watched this guy get out wrestled by Howdy Barcelos this year. I think Henry Cejudo will finally show us why he has an Olympic gold medal. I think he'll be able to take down Peyton Talbot. And I don't think he's going to submit him. I don't think he's going to finish him. Henry Cejudo is not the type of grappler who will get on your back or get in mount and start landing heavy ground and pound and threaten submissions. I think he's just going to lay in guard, right? I think he's going to rack up control time. I think it's going to be very tough for Peyton Talbot to get up. He showed some good get-ups in his last fight against Andre Lima, but this is Henry Cejudo. He might be old, but he's still really good. He hasn't looked bad in his last 3 fights. Even though he's lost them, he has not looked bad. And I think this is just going to be a little bit too much for Peyton Talbot. Like I said, he's very good. He definitely could win. He's a young contender. He's going to be improving. I think the size is going to be a huge thing in this fight. Look at the face-off. Peyton Talbot is twice the size of him. He's going to hit very hard. And I think he's really good with his counters. I really could see Henry getting clipped with that counter left hook, but I'm just not going to bank on that. I'm going to trust in Henry's wrestling. One time. Don't backfire on me, Henry. I think he can win. I really do. Next fight, Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. This is an easy fucking fight for me, dude. Jan Blachowicz is going to knock this Agent 47 ass motherfucker out. It's not going to be close. Bogdan Guskov is a fun fighter. He's powerful. He's very fast. And he has a very unique style. He fights with this hands down kind of style. It reminds you of Yuri a little bit. But I think his style and the way he stands, he's going to be very susceptible to low kicks. Jan Blachowicz has some of the best low kicks in the division, right? I think Jan Blachowicz is going to crack him with a counter hook. Bogdan he doesn't really have very good defense. I think Jan is levels above him, dude. Look at who he's been fighting. Look at who he's been fighting, bro. Carlos Ulberg went to it wasn't even a split decision, but Jan won that fight as far as I'm concerned. Alex Pereira, very arguable split decision that he could have won. Magomed Ankalaev, split draw. He could have won that fight. Obviously, he beat Alexander Rakic, but that's a long time ago now. That's getting real long time ago, but I think Jan could mix in his takedowns in this fight as well. I just think Bogdan is fucking beatable, bro. He lost to Volkan Oezdemir in front of our eyes not too long ago. Jan is so fucking good. He's going to win. I'm telling you, what's going to happen, he's going to go out there. He's going to be very tough to hit. This is the thing with Jan. He's so good defensively. It's so hard to knock him out. We've seen him fight all these knockout artists like Carlos Ulberg, Alex Pereira, and he turns them into point fighters almost. Like, I think he's going to go out there. He's going to be landing the jab. He's going to be chewing up Bogdan's legs. He's going to be getting out of the way of the big shots. And I think eventually he's going to land a counter left hook right on Bogdan's chin, put him down, follow up with some grounded pound, and put him out. That's what I think. Jan Blachowicz is going to win this fucking fight. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be very sad. But I think Jan has this in the bag. Next fight, Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres. This is a really good fight. This is a tough fight to predict as well. This kind of reminds me of Sean Brady's last matchup a little bit. Grant Dawson is pretty similar to Sean Brady. He's got some of the best grappling in the division, but he can't strike at all. He cannot strike. Manuel Torres is one of the most dangerous guys in the division. He has crazy power. He's very dangerous early on. He leaves some, defensive openings. Like we saw that against Ignacio Bahamondes, cracked him with a right hand. He does overextend. Grant Dawson is not the guy who's going to capitalize on that. And I honestly think what's going to happen is Torres is going to go out there and chin Dawson with a right hand in like the first 30 seconds. Dawson's grappling is so good. And if he can get into round two, start getting some takedowns, he can absolutely win this fight. But I think Torres is just too dangerous early on, and I trust that he can defend a couple of takedowns at least. We haven't really seen him have to do that in the UFC, but he's very slick with his jiu-jitsu. He's got good submissions. He's got a dangerous guillotine. Like, he's good, man, and he's a finisher. I think he's going to clip Grant Dawson right on the chin a minute into the fight. In the first minute, Grant Dawson is going to get knocked out. I think it's going to be pretty vicious, pretty brutal. I think Grant Dawson just has no chin. He can't fucking strike. He has no power. The defense is not there. And Manuel Torres is a good striker with some defensive, he lacks a little bit of defense, but he's got crazy power. He's so dangerous. He's going to knock Grant Dawson out. That's what I think. Next fight, Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. This is another sick fight. Holy shit. This card is really good. I'm picking Terrence McKinney by submission in round one. I think Terrence McKinney in round one is a fucking beast, number one. Number two, Chris Duncan is a guy who doesn't start out super strong in round one. He builds into the fight. He's a very tough guy, but he's not the fastest. He's got power in his hands, but he's pretty slow. And I think that's going to be the difference here. Terrence McKinney's super fast twitch. I think he's going to go out there round one, and I think he's going to drop Chris Duncan. And I think Duncan is going to shoot a panic takedown and get submitted. I think Terrence McKinney is just a little bit too fast and too dangerous early on in the fight. But if this goes into round two, Duncan is taking it easily. Very easily. Terrence McKinney, he's chinny. He lacks a gas tank, but he does have really good grappling. He's got super dangerous hands, and I think it's just going to be a little bit too much for Chris Duncan early on, but this is an amazing fight. This could be fucking cinema. Like, McKinney could go out there and drop him in round one, nearly get a finish. Chris Duncan could survive and then come back and finish McKinney in round two. This could be a war. This could be a crazy fight. So I have my expectations set very high for this. I think this is going to be fireworks. So I recommend that you guys catch the prelims for this. But next fight, Maycee Barber versus Karine Silva. I'm picking Maycee Barber. Next one, Fares Ziam versus Nazim Sadikov. This is a sick fight as well. There's a lot of great lightweight fights on this card. I'm picking Sadikov by a late rounds TKO. I think Fares Ziam is the popular pick. Well, he's not. That's pretty shocking. I feel like Ziam would be the pick among the fans because when you look at this matchup on paper, Fares Ziam is super tall. He has a huge reach advantage. He's really good. He's got great jabs. He's very dangerous with his knees up the middle. He's dangerous in the clinch. He's got some wrestling, as we saw versus Mike Davis. He's really improved his grappling. But I think Nazim is so tough. He's so gritty. I don't think Fares Ziam is going to finish him. And there were moments against Matt Frivola where Ziam was getting backed up to the cage. He was, Matt Frivola was landing some shots. He almost submitted Fares Ziam early on with a guillotine. And that's Matt Frivola. I think Nazim is very good. I think he will get hit early on. I think he'll have trouble closing the distance. But I think he'll land his body kicks. That's going to be a big thing for both of these guys. The rear side kicks. It's an open stance matchup. But I think Nazim is going to land the body kicks. I think he's going to have trouble early on, but eventually he'll find his range. He'll go to the body. He'll be able to back Fares Ziam up, find him against the cage, and start landing combos. And I think he's just the tougher guy. I think he's got more power. I think he's a better boxer on the inside. He's got really good hands. And he gets hit. Like, his defense is not the greatest, but Fares Ziam gets tagged too. Mike Davis was tagging him and then pulling guard for no fucking reason. Like, Nazim is not going to do that. He's going to mix in his wrestling as well. I think he can take down Fares Ziam. I think he can get him against the cage. And I think in round three, it's going to be a scrap. But I think Nazim will have the better gas tank. And I think he will, cut off the cage. And I think he might even put Fares Ziam down with a body shot. I can really see that. He rips to the body. But I think he's going to put him away with a combo against the cage in round three. And I think Nazim Sadikov is going to win and earn a fight with a top 15 opponent if he does. The winner of this fight, top 15 opponent. And I'm a big fan of Nazim. I've been watching him since his fight with Evan Elder a long time ago. That was on one of the first cards I watched. So I'm a big fan of this guy. And yeah, I'm picking him to win. Next fight, Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira did miss weight, so that is pretty alarming because he's not the biggest guy. Like he's short and he's stocky, but it's kind of surprising that he missed weight. So there could be something going on with that. But Marvin Vettori he's so dog shit. He's so dog shit, man. He's so bad. He has nothing. What does Marvin Vettori do? What does this guy even do? What does he do? Tell me. He used to be pretty decent. He's not decent anymore. He's shit. All he has is a jab, a two. Sometimes he'll throw a low kick. He has no fucking defense, man. Bruno Ferreira has crazy power in his hands. I think he's going to win a decision against Vettori. I really could see him getting a finish. You know what? I'm changing to finish. I think TKO, round 2. I don't see Marvin Vettori going through another fight where he takes absolute bombs off of one of the most powerful punchers in the division. Ferreira has serious power, man. Like, Vettori is not taking that power, and he has no defense. He will be there to get hit. He can land his own shots back. He doesn't hit hard. Vettori doesn't have power in his hands. He doesn't have any finishing potential. Sure, he might be able to wrestle. I don't think he's taking Ferreira down. I don't think it's going to happen. And Ferreira is a really good grappler. Like, I know he got submitted by Abbas, but he was this close to finishing Abbas. He fumbled it. Mistakes. Shit happens. He's a good grappler, especially off his back. Like, I think Ferreira can get a submission if it goes to the ground. I don't think Vettori is going to take him down. I don't think he's going to mix it up and take Bruno Ferreira down and control him or get a submission. I think Marvin Vettori is finally going to get finished. I think the chin will crack. I don't see him going 3 rounds taking this type of power. And even if he does, he's going to lose because he's going to be getting hit with these bombs 3 rounds straight. You know, maybe Bruno could gas out. Vettori could get a late finish. I just don't see it happening, dude. I think Ferreira hits too hard. Next fight, Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner. This is mean. This is straight up mean from the UFC. What did Edson Barboza do? Like, did he get caught fucking one of the matchmaker's wives? Like, what is going on here? They're matching him up with Jalen Turner? What's up with that? He's washed. Edson Barboza is very washed. He's going to get knocked out. I think it's going to be a brutal knockout. He has no boxing defense, man. This is the thing with Barboza. His boxing is very lackluster. Look at the Lerone Murphy fight, man. He was getting beat up. Just no defense. Just blocking punches with his face. He's got dangerous kicks. He's not going to take Jalen Turner down. That's not happening. And Jalen Turner is fucking ginormous. Somehow, he only has a half of an inch of reach over Barboza. Barboza has freakishly long arms, I guess. But Jalen Turner, too dangerous with the hands. He's going to knock Edson Barboza out early on. I could see him knocking Edson out with a head kick as well. I think the knee up the middle, like anything. Jalen Turner could knock him out with anything. I think he's too powerful, too dangerous, and Edson Barboza is just going to be there to get hit, and he does not have the wrestling option against Jalen Turner. So, yeah, this is just straight up mean matchmaking. Next fight, Ivo Aslan versus Iwo Baranowski. I think Iwo is going to win. TKO, round 1. I could see a submission as well. Ivo Aslan is a blockhead. He goes forward. He swings big hooks. And after he lost to Ion Cutelaba, it was like watching I don't even know. It was like watching somebody who has lost themselves against Billy Elikana. He did nothing. And I think Iwo is a tank. He's very powerful, and he's got really good judo. He's got very good grappling. He's got some submissions, and he's got heavy power in his hands. And I think he's going to go out there, crack Ivo Aslan on the chin early on, and put him away. and I could also see him getting a submission. So yeah, I think Iwo is the better fighter all around, much more well-rounded MMA fighter, and Ibo Aslan is just not very technical at all, and I don't think he has much of a skill set. He's just a brawler, and I don't think that's going to work against Iwo. So next fight, Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricoli. Man, this is a layup. This is going to be sad to watch. I think Mansour Abdul Malik is going to knock him out early on. Antonio Tricoli is like a statue. I think he's going to get chinned early. That's about all there is to it. He does nothing in his fights. Next fight, Muhammad Naimov versus Myron Santos. I'm going to go with Santos by decision. I think Naimov is good. He has decent wrestling. He has a pretty good spinning wheel kick. He's got a good jab. He's a pretty technical fighter all around. But I think Santos is much better than him on the feet. He's got really good timing with his counters. He's very patient. He's got a lot of power. He did just school Sadiq Yusuf. Pretty impressive win. And I think that he has enough takedown defense to not get ragdolled by Muhammad Naimov, because really, who's really got ragdolled that bad by Muhammad Naimov? Not really anybody. Like, I think Myron Santos is going to go out there and outstrike him in a pretty boring fight. Muhammad Naimov has this ability to turn fights into boring point fights, and I think that's what this is going to be. But Myron Santos is going to win. I just think he's a little bit better. So that's what I think about this. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was the last fight. Yeah, hope my predictions go well, and have a good day.